So you can wait to install this bracket or install it when you're done. You can pre-install it. I'd put it on whenever you want. So now you removed the old cable already. So when you go to remove the cable, leave all this stuff off. You're going to do it anyways because you're installing a new one. So when you go to the front of the chair, there's actually a metal cover that sits here, and it has 4 screws. So I removed the metal cover to access where the cable's attached to in the front of the chair. There's 2 stainless steel brackets, and the cables on a C3, this is important to know, they crisscross each other. So when you come from if you're looking from the front of the chair, the right side of the chair, the right side is going to attach to this side. When you're coming from the left side of the chair looking from the front, it's going to attach to the right side. So they cross each other. And they're actually zip tied together underneath there. So when you remove all the old stuff, just remember how it goes. So now what I do is I loosen this nut here. There's 2 nuts. They're 10 millimeter. And then there's a clip up top. You can't see it in my video, but there's a clip up top. Pop the clip off. This cable slides off. There's actually a ball on the cable, and the ball looks like this on the top part of the cable. So you'll see a ball. Let me try to turn this so you can see better. So you'll see a ball, and these are the 2 nuts. And with the cable pushed down, this has a groove in it so you can pop the cable off. You don't have to pull this bracket off. Just loosen it and then slide the cable towards the actuator, and the cable will actually come right off. So once you get the cable removed, you want to actually remove the cable and then reinstall whatever cable you want to reinstall. So once you reinstall the cables, it's just a matter of making sure you route them the way they went the first time. So just take pictures so you can remember. So run this cable through here. If you didn't attach this bracket, attach the bracket to the frame, so the track. So this track, so this is the side, this track only goes one way, like so. And then we're gonna reattach everything. So after you get all this attached, and if you have a 913, like I said before, be sure this is on the front side track all the way up against where the channel is. So bump it right up against there. Don't put it in the back track. So on this model, if you're ever changing a cable on a newer 913, just mark these if you're going to remove this. But you don't need to, because if you unthread back here, you can take this off and slide the cable right through the bracket. So you don't need to remove it. But if you ever think you want to or don't want to, just be sure that you mark it. And another good thing to do is actually measure from here to here. So when you do the other side, you have them exactly in this bracket in the same place. So now that we have that bracket in place, and there's actually an Allen bolt on the top and the bottom, I didn't tell you that. This one is hard to get to. You can remove the shroud if you want to, and the shroud's pretty easy to remove. There's 2 screws that hold the shroud on, so if you want to remove the shroud, you can. So once we get this, we reinstall all our wire management stuff. And we don't have to attach it yet. We just get it kind of out of our way a little bit. So then, once we remove that, we want to reinstall our sprocket. So we left the stainless steel washer on there. So now we need to reinstall the sprocket. So you'll see the sprocket has a groove and a flat side. So you see the flat side and the groove side. You want to make sure that the flat side is towards you. And just slide it on. Then you have 2 washers, so they're 2 thicker washers. If you have 1, it's okay. Some kits only come with 1, but this one has 2, so put 2 on. And then now put on your snap ring. Just move the camera around. So now you're going to put on your snap ring with your snap ring pliers. If you don't have these, you're going to have to get a set because you can't really do this without snap ring pliers. So then you just pop it on. Be sure it's locked. Be sure it moves good, feels good, moves good. And now you loop the chain over this. So I kept the chair in the sitting position to do this. Don't ever raise it up. It makes it more complicated to install. If you have it standing, sometimes the brackets in the front get caught underneath and then the chain's not loose enough to get it reattached. So now we're just going to reverse everything we just did. We're going to put this through the bottom bracket through the motor mount. So you can see this is the motor mount. And then we're going to put our washer and nut on the bottom, and it's a 10mm again, and the chain's going to be loose, so don't be discouraged if you say, well, that chain's loose. It's supposed to be because you don't have the gas strut attached. So now I thread this on, and you want to hold here with something and turn the bottom bolt. So once you get that locked on, you can actually then put your cover on. And then the cover only goes on one way. And another note on a 913 3-digit number, the difference between chairs, this is how we know, is it has 4 digits if it's a new chair. So 913 with a 0 is a newer chair, or 913 with 4 digits. So if you have a 6-digit 913, so 6 digits in your serial number, this plate, this fender will not line up. It will not go into this. So it will be away from here. So you'll have to zip tie this. Zip tie it to the track. Keep it away from the cable, but zip tie it so it doesn't rattle. We're working on fixing that design. We actually shortened up the frame a little bit, so that's why it doesn't line up. Just so you know, the other chair, the older chair, is a little bit longer. So it's not a big deal. Just leave that where that is and zip tie this to the frame. So now you're going to put all your parts back on, your components. You're going to put the ball back on here. So I'm going to put my ball on. So if you want to Loctite stuff, use blue Loctite if you want to. I recommend it. So now we're going to put this on. And I use an impact because it's convenient and it's perfect torque, 100 pounds. So I got that on. 13mm, remember. 10mm. So now I got all that attached. Now I can reinstall the gas strut. So a trick to this, see how far away I am, is that actually you can put something under the front wheel to lift up the motor and hold it for you. Even when you do that, you're still not going to have room to attach this. It's going to be above the ball. What I do is I put a pair of channel locks or something flat. Usually I use an adjustable wrench on top, and then I put my weight down. Push my weight down on top of this. I push down and then I pop it on. So that's the trick I use. I put something under the front wheel and then it helps me. You can actually lift the front wheel by hand, but it's easier to do it with a block. So once you have that gas strut reinstalled, you can reinstall the wire management brackets. You know, just reinstall everything. And you can actually check it first before you reinstall everything just to be sure everything's good. But that's how you install a new style cable on the older 913 and the newer 913. This is a newer 913, so this is a 6-digit, so you can see that that's how it installs. And we'll have a video for the older 913 sometime, but this gets you to know how this installs because nobody knows how it installs. It's so new. So thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions, call me directly at Levo, and my name is Sean. Thank you. Bye.